we should do our own YouTube channel. That's where corny YouTube came around. Right now, stop me if I leave anything out in this.
No, everything is correct so far.
Okay, all right, and feel free to correct me if I misstate anything.
Okay.
You said we got to create corny YouTube, and well, there you go. That sounds like a hit. And within a very short period of time, we had like 25,000 subscribers, right? And we're getting and once again, I don't mean to seem mercenary, and we're just doing this for the money. It's just a cash grab. Every time somebody downloads one of my YouTube videos, I'm going to call you on the phone or something. No, but you and I, neither one need a hobby, right? We got enough to do if we're going to make the effort to record these things and put these things up and to expand as we were going to possibly. We need to get compensated for it. Or elsewise, we don't have time. But everything's working out nicely at this point, and we're getting the check from the corny YouTube from because we were hitting all those record numbers and hundreds of thousands of views and millions of minutes and all those statistics we would give. And also we were getting a check from the young man who had been making all the money from my shit for quite some time before I found out about it. And everything was rosy. And then you even alerted me to the fact that the Jim Cornette's Talking Sense channel was almost at 100,000 subscribers, at which point a channel that reaches that milestone is supposed to get special treatment from YouTube. Just a host of once again, special awards and prizes. We're supposed to get the leg lamp. These are honorable prizes. And everything's going fine, except right about that same time, boom, we get a notice that corny YouTube has been demonetized. And what that means is that that's all still up there. You can watch it. They just took down all our ads for all these tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of minutes of listens and et cetera that we were getting. So it's just all up there for free. And the reason we got was not copyright violation or, advocated assassinating a South American country's president or so, whatever the fuck, where they take the video down or they do away with it or whatever they fucking do. But we're just not going to run your ads. And the reason they gave us was duplication. Is that correct, Brian Last?
That is correct.
Now, I would like you, if you would, briefly, Mr. Last, I feel like I'm Stephen P. New already here. I would like you to tell the listeners just some of the many steps that you tried to go through to figure out what the fuck duplication means.
Well, and I have to be careful here because this specific topic kind of goes into the pending litigation category, but here's the way it worked. We in the past have had a good working relationship with YouTube, specifically in pulling down content that was ours that we own the copyright to that we didn't want up. We've actually had a very good relationship with YouTube until this hit. Everyone's been paying attention. YouTube's had a lot of issues the last few years with advertiser boycotts and people like Alex Jones getting pulled off the air. And because of that, a lot of the things like their algorithms and policies have changed on the fly quickly and without any explanation. We got hit for duplication. If you get hit for copyright, if you get hit for saying something that people think is outrageous to the point where you should be pulled down, if you get flagged for using music that you shouldn't use, you'll get notice, and you'll get specific notice saying you did this or you played this song for this amount of time at this point in the video, and here's what you have to do to rectify this. With duplication, you don't get any of that. You get a notification that your channel's been tagged for duplication, fix what's wrong, and reapply. That's it. And when you try to contact YouTube and say, I want to fix this, what did I duplicate? They can't give you an answer. They won't give you an answer. Maybe they can or they can't. A lot of people seem to think this is simply a bot they have that they can't explain or justify, so they just won't give anyone any answers. But
and you can't talk to anyone you're emailing.
No. And I don't want to go through all the methods I went through, but I went through a lot of people in the music industry too, and we couldn't get anyone from YouTube to respond in an acceptable manner.
So then I started thinking a lot of things. Some of them involved aggravated mayhem, so we won't go into that. But the point is that was supposed to be for a period of time of 30 days, and then you're supposed to reapply and a blah, blah, blah. So, all right, well, let's see what happens. Maybe they'll just reinstate this thing. But I got started thinking, which started getting me a little peeved at our friend across the pond. Duplication, it just starts happening, that stuff starts going sideways when our other account starts getting this supposed special treatment level. Could it be that because some of the clips are the same thing? And I also, through you, let our friend over there know that as of that point, because I was not able to make money on YouTube with my own shit, but he was able to make money with my shit on YouTube and give me some of it, that wasn't going to fly too much longer, and that I was going to have to be making the majority of my money one way or the other that comes from YouTube, even if it ain't my channel. And he was already squealing like a pig under a gate of all the work that he was doing, and et cetera, which I had no sympathy for, because he made a lot of money on my shit for a long time until I smartened up. So then we reapplied and were turned down again for our channel while this other channel was still up, and while he was supposed to get all these special rights and privileges. I don't know of any rights and privileges that we got. Do you, Mr. Last?
No, because
no.
But this kind of falls into a lot of the other YouTube issues, good and bad, whether it's you receiving, for instance, the ability to contact a human being at YouTube once you hit a certain threshold.
Oh, well, that would be a refreshing change, to be able to contact a human being.
Well, from that...
But let me know, YouTube, when we're good enough, to be able to contact a human being.
From that to the appeals process, every single thing with YouTube, it's you can apply at a certain date, you can do this at a certain date, and then you just wait, and you hear nothing back. And I mean, you could look on YouTube, let's say YouTube, you can look on Google, and you could look at message boards, and you'll see there's lots and lots of people who not only have these problems, but don't get any answers whatsoever. Unlike everything else YouTube does, this is the one area where they simply are not taking any accountability for what's happening.
And see, and you have tried to be the voice of reason through this, and that's why you're still soft pedaling these fuckers, but I'm not happy. So the point is, we got turned down again on our channel because of duplication, at which point that you delayed the information that Jim Cornette is mad at YouTube, and when he gets back from his trip to Philly, we're going to have a conversation with our fellow across the pond of how Jim Cornette's going to be getting a lot more of this fucking money, or elsewise all this shit is coming down. And guess what happened? All that shit came down because our boy is a nervous wreck and folded his tent and packed up, which has now, thankfully, gotten rid of, and here's a deep cut for the 605ers and the experiencers, gotten rid of the Bruiser and Snyder in our Louisville Wrestling Enterprises. Here's another partner that I have said before, I don't want to get in the business or get into business with anybody I don't know, don't like, or don't trust. And once again, I was. As a matter of fact, YouTube falls in that category also. But now we have eliminated that situation, so Jim Cornette is still talking sense, but not on YouTube, because that channel don't exist. And we have bid adieu to that grifter that latched himself onto my fucking name and reputation. And the corny YouTube is still up, even though we're not getting any ads run on it and making any money on it, because somebody on this phone call did a lot of work to put all that stuff up and has squealed like a pig under a gate about, no, let's not take it all down, Jim.
I think that's an unfair way of characterizing it. I haven't squealed. I've just told you there are a multitude of reasons I think right now it is advantageous to us to keep it up. Amongst those, and I want to make a careful note here, Jim Cornette Talking Sense is down. Corny YouTube is still up. We still, just for everyone to know, have the rights to everything, and we're still going to enforce that.
Well,
so
yes,
that doesn't mean you should be uploading things. Yeah.
No. Here I was about to say, and some people have, and they're going to be hearing from us, and I'm going to get to this in a second. Actually, they'll be hearing from our legal analyst. But no, I don't want to be on fucking YouTube. I'm mad at YouTube, and YouTube has not paid us yet for the first half of the month, in which they suspended our account halfway through the month. We still got that, so they still owe me money. And as far as I'm concerned, YouTube can become fuck YouTube, but you are holding on to hope that this can be rectified by the means that I'm about to explain. And so therefore, corny YouTube will be there for the time being.
For the time being, yes.
But will not be updated because we ain't getting paid for it. And as I said, we have other things to do. But anybody else that wants to put my shit up on YouTube, I ain't real happy about my partner putting my shit up on YouTube right now. So the hammer of the fucking gods and Stephen P. New will come down on your fucking lily-livered asses if you put any of my shit on YouTube. Let's just put it that way, because we do have this shit copyrighted. And also, fuck you. And as far as that goes, once again, I've said this for weeks, and I'm reiterating it. If you have a major corporation, one of these nameless, faceless billionaires that tries to fuck you out of what's rightfully yours, you know who to call. If you need to sue, call Stephen P. New, and that's what we have done. He is now researching the whole YouTube fucking fiasco.
Yeah.
Well, I was about to say, and he's got help. He's got backup. He's got somebody in California. He's got tentacles that reach across the country that he can plug into legal experts in a variety of topics in a variety of locations. And we're going to see if we can get our money and or some kind of justice, retribution, righteousness, explanations even, from YouTube, or elsewise there's going to be some consequences and repercussions. So when you have one of these major corporations, big billionaires or other nameless, faceless fucks trying to put you down and ream you out, newlawoffice.com, 888-692-8084. And if you have a problem with YouTube, ask directly for Stephen P. New, because he may just file a class action suit on these fuckers. Because I'm class and I want action.
Yeah, just a couple of things, Jim, real quick. For those wondering, YouTube, if you've experienced it, their terms are very strict. They indemnify themselves of everything. They cannot be sued for anything under any reason. However, we actually think upon close examination and further consultation, there may be something that they have not covered in their
We
terms.
found a loophole, folks.
And well, then we found a second one. And we understand we have to go to court with YouTube in Santa Clara, California. That's stipulated in their contract. The same way if you sue the WWE, usually you have to go to Connecticut if you're a former talent or something.
And almost nothing is worth that.
No. And but we things are in motion. So one way or another, this is going to be rectified to our advantage. And I want to make one other note, Jim. Obviously, a lot of the clips on YouTube, on the previous channel, on corny YouTube, things that people ask for are part of the archive, the catalog of Jim Cornette Experience and Jim Cornette Drive-Thru episodes. Everyone always says, when am I going to get to hear all the old episodes? I want to hear the old episodes. Or I used to hear a lot of the clips on Jim Cornette Talking Sense. Where can I get those? We have something we're working on right now. I know we've said it in the past, but actually we're literally working on it right now, where in the next couple months we'll have an answer for everyone where you can access the archive because we have hundreds of episodes that are ready to be released.
And before, and some of them will escape. Before we were leaning in a different direction with what to do with them, but now that we realize that would put us in partnership with one of these fucking people that we don't like, don't know, or don't trust, we are instead looking for other options so that our fans, the Cult of Cornette, can get all the programming without any of the bullshit, and everybody can be satisfied. And if that's one thing that we know how to do, that's satisfy people. Bye, cracky.
Bye, cracky.
Bye, cracky. Bye, criminy. Creaminelli. Anyway, so that's the whole story with YouTube. And once again, one of these goddamn companies, I knew when they made this internet, all it was going to be was something else that people had to come to your house and fix. Or it's going to be some fucking headache. We've got too fancy for our own good here in this country.
Well, let me ask you a question. And actually, this is one I've spoken to legal counsel about throughout this whole process. More of just, spitballing things. But why isn't YouTube...
Don't spit at me.
Why isn't YouTube a utility?
Well, there you go. It ought to be regulated like any other utility. It's in everybody's home. It's a thing that most people are using.
Why isn't it a utility? I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I'd like to hear a good answer to that. But like I said, we're looking.
I'd like to hear a good question next, but that's beside the point. So,
but yes, we're looking into things, and we'll update the Cult of Cornette as we get answers.
Am I the only person that ever got to like 150,000 subscribers and decided to quit YouTube?
Yes, pretty much. Yeah,
well, fuck them. I mean, it doesn't have to be that difficult. if other people are making money on my shit, I want to make more of it. That's fucking standard